Well, what do we have here? A sneaky update post by Frontier. And this update, 1.14, will give us some very interesting and exciting stuff that may give us some idea of what the next pack will be as well. So first feature that we'll be seeing is staff flexicolour. So the actual posts read this. New season, new wardrobe. With the addition of staff flexicolour options for your zoos, you'll be able to customize the colour combinations of your staff's uniforms, allowing for a whole new range of possibilities. These options will allow you to create custom colour schemes for your favourite members of staff through their individual info panel, or select different colourways for each staff type through the staff overview screen, so you can get an at-a-glance overview of where they are in your zoo. The decision is yours. So the screenshot is quite interesting. There's some different colors, and it seems like you can customize the hat, the t-shirt, the shoes, and the pants. So yeah, a lot of customization. The next one is really interesting and very specific behavior as well. And I'll come back to this and also the screenshot at the end of the video to speculate about another possible DLC pack, which, just to be clear, I don't think it's going to be Island Pack anymore just because of this post. It's kind of making it, well, quite clear what the pack will be. So the spitting behavior reads as followed. Guests might be in for a surprise next time they're a little too close to your habitat. Some animals will now exhibit spitting at guests as a new behavior. They'll be able to spit through some of the fences, and you might even be able to spot them attempting to spit through the glass walls of their habitats. Both the Bactrian camel and llama are capable of spitting at your guests in-game, so you'll want to keep an eye out to spot this behavior in action. Luckily, guests who experience spitting behaviors firsthand won't have their happiness impacted. How understanding. So yeah, I guess that's quite nice for the franchise players, knowing that it won't really affect their happiness. This next feature I'm most excited about. It's the scenic camera mode. Lights, camera, action. With the new scenic camera mode, you'll be able to create smooth vista shots throughout your zoos. Just place the camera in your desired location and select from a few predefined camera behaviors like spin, ellipse, spiral in, spiral out, then further adjust the zoom and movement speed of the camera to experience cinematic views of just parts of your zoo or your whole zoo if you'd like. So that is going to be amazing for cinematic shots in speed builds or other reviews I'll be doing on this channel. So definitely excited with this feature. And then the final one, which is even more interesting, really, it's just an, I suppose it's an addition to the previous feature, which is cinematic route editor. That's not all. For our nifty Planet Zoo community who love creating more intricate and compelling videos and views of your pack, we've added a new cinematic route editor. This tool will put you into digital animation mode, allowing you to add specific keyframes to any area of your pack that can all be connected or separated in sequence to create a unique and defined path for the camera to transition through. You can add as many keyframes as you like, and each keyframe can be customized by changing camera position, rotation, focus zoom, or cutting directly to the next keyframe. There are also some route settings you can add once you've created your keyframe animation that include hiding the UI whilst your route is being played, looping the route, or changing the speed of the animation as a whole. It's a truly dynamic way to show off all your hard work to the world, so make sure you have a play around with it. Now, there's a bit to talk about, actually. Firstly, the staff flexicolour. Very cool. I mean, it's not a big feature. I suppose you could customize your staff colors depending on the different areas you have. Maybe a red color for your African area, a blue color for your European area, etc, etc. But I think it's mostly the cinematic route editor and the cinematic camera mode that I'm most excited about, because we can use these features for a lot of different things. Well, specifically me and a lot of other content creators will be using this feature a lot. Very good for speed builds to show off your builds. That's basically what it is, right? The spitting behavior I want to specifically mention, since it's such a specific feature to add. which is for now only for the Bactrian camel and llama. And now, well, previously a lot of the screenshots kind of correlated with the theme of the DLC pack, and if you look at the Zookeeper screenshot, this is clearly a desert environment. And I know a lot of people have speculated arid or desert or savanna, which is all kind of in the same category. And I don't think it's going to be savanna since that's too close to grassland. The same with arid, because, you know, most grassland species are arid. I think it will specifically be called desert since it's another biome in the game, just like grassland. And wetland, which is basically aquatic, whatever. And I think, I mean, the spitting behavior kind of just confirms it with, well, not confirms it, but strengthens the theory with the dromedary camel. Yeah, we will be getting dromedary camels, lads. So dromedary camel, some other desert animals, and you know, I'd like to make a quick list of what I think are some realistic picks that we could get in this DLC. It's going to be 8 species. It's probably going to be an animal pack. First animal I'd like to mention is, well, obviously the dromedary camel. I think the dromedary camel is a very realistic thing to predict in a desert-themed pack. Yeah, I mean, dromedary camel. A lot of people love the dromedary camel. It spits, it lives in the desert. It's probably going to be the flagship animal of the pack. What more can I say? For the next animal, I'm looking at the Hamadryas baboon. Well, it does live in mountainous areas, but it also definitely lives in arid grasslands. Although we got a grassland pack, so obviously we have to distinguish grassland from desert. That's like the only reason I'm quite iffy about desert-themed pack, since there's a thin line between grassland and desert. But I think like specific dry, arid desert environment, Hamadryas baboon does kind of fit in this slot. It definitely fits in arid environments. Although the Hamadryas baboon is mostly concentrated to more mountainous, grasslandy, bushy environment, so maybe not enough to be added. But there's a lot of other baboon species that could definitely fit in this desert environment. Another famous desert animal and small cat, since I really want the Scottish wildcat in the game for an island pack, I think a good replacement would be the sand cat. You know, very famous. Well, very famous. It's known for being the ancestors of our domestic cats. It really is quite similar to the domestic cat, and it's a small cat. I really like the sand cat. I think the sand cat is definitely another really interesting pick. Now, if you move over to the Americas, which also have some famous deserts, another interesting animal I think would be the roadrunner, since roadrunners are a bit famous as well, and they're specifically known to be desert slash grasslandy, but specifically desert. I would like to say it's a small bird. It would probably be the smallest bird in the game, and it could perfectly be flightless. And another desert animal I think in the Americas would be the coyote, and although it looks very similar to other canines, it's actually not the same species as the grey wolf or the dingo. It's the same genus, but it's a different species, so I think it's different enough. And it's a desert animal, so although, yeah, I suppose dingo is a desert animal as well, but yeah, the coyote, I think the coyote is another interesting animal that they could possibly add. There are some subspecies of bighorn sheep that also live in desert environments, so I think a bighorn sheep is also not unrealistic to think. I don't really hear a lot of people mention the bighorn sheep, but it's definitely a species that, you know, we don't have a lot of goats, and I think it's another interesting addition to the game. Next, I've heard a lot of people mention peccaries, and peccaries are pretty desert in my opinion. So they're a South American to Central American animal, so having a desert animal from South America would be an awesome addition as well. Now, the problem with the desert theme is that I'm kind of running out of animals to think of. I mean, there's definitely a handful of desert animals that could be added, but I can't really think of 8. And full start. Like, we're kind of forced to go to more oddball picks just to fill up the roster, and it just seems like a lot of the pack would be forced. Obviously, I'm not saying it won't happen. There's definitely some other species like some desert hares or the Adax or Adax, however you want to pronounce it. Those are definitely some realistic additions as well. And I think the exhibit animal is most difficult. If Frontier decides to continue the walkthrough exhibit theme, I would have no idea which species they could add to a walkthrough exhibit unless they decide to add another bat species that lives in more of a desert environment. Maybe they could add a bird species, but I doubt they will add a bird species. But if it's just a normal exhibit animal, then there is plenty of choices. There are so many desert scorpions, there's other desert insects, desert arachnids, different desert snakes, even lizards. You could have cobras, which I don't think we have a cobra in the game as of now. We could add some interesting lizards like the leopard gecko, which is a very popular exotic pet, and also a desert animal like the bearded dragon, another very famous exotic pet and would be cool to have in the game as well. I think the thorny devil, for example, that's another one I just thought of it just now. Thorny devil would be really cool as well, and I think the list continues. So when it comes to just normal exhibit animals, we have plenty of choice. When it comes to walkthrough exhibits, I think it feels like the choices are more limited if we obviously don't include birds to the optional animals to be added to a walkthrough exhibit. But that said, that's just a quick speculation. It's not just something I thought on the spot, really. So I won't make a full-on desert animal prediction, but, you know, some ideas of animals that could be added. I don't even know how many animals I've mentioned. Way more than 8 when it comes to exhibit animals. But, yeah, those are just some ideas I've had for a possible desert / arid / dryland / whatever DLC, if it's not islands. But just a quick note, someone mentioned, and it's actually very smart, when they mentioned spitting animals, and although I'm pretty sure it won't be islands since, you know, even the picture was like a desert environment, walrus do spit, and walrus are considered often to be the island animals. So could we have a spitting walrus? Maybe, but I doubt it. I think it will be some desert related DLC. But we'll have to see tonight, since we will be doing a, well, not we, but Frontier will be doing a special live stream. So I'll probably see you then, or well, after the live stream when I make a video about the live stream. Bye.